It's open. Here, this hut is on the...
Oh, what a jump! How is it that there is no room in this cemetery? Bags filled with nails. There are a lot of them. Well, really.
I can see a large...
Bags filled with nails. There are...
A hole was drilled a short while ago. There is a sack inside this hole. Let us see what is inside it.
We are making headway. How do we know what this means?
This message confirms that we are on the right track. This shovel Here is our tree. Let us examine the inscriptions. Sally and John. This design was the last to be done. Sally and John is engraved here as a symbol of their love. Yes, it must be there. I need... This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
You frighten me, Holmes.
This must...
Very well, Holmes. Look, a metal box.
The lock on this box is rather sophisticated. This box comes from a bank. The criminals must have held on to it after a hold-up. There we are. It is simplicity itself.
These candlesticks are undoubtedly stolen.
This key must be important to be hidden here. A hammer covered in blood.
Holmes, there is someone in that hut.
I saw, Watson. Come, and keep your revolver at the ready, just in case. Open up. We're not the police. Do not be alarmed.
That's a strange way of reassuring someone. Holmes, they are children. My God, one of them is hurt.
What do you want? Don't come any closer. Are you the police?
Don't be afraid. I am a doctor. I'm going to look at your friend's wound.
Wait, Watson. I've got some questions to ask these children.
This is urgent, Holmes. In this filthy place, the risk of infection is very high, and the wound could get worse with every second lost.
The immediate danger for these children is not so much the wound as Mr. Fletcher.
Who?
Look at the wound, Watson. It's thin and precise. It was made by a sharp, well-kept blade. Any other blade, less well-kept, would have torn the tissue around it, and its size would be irregular.
So what does that imply?
In this area, who would take such great care with a blade? A butcher, of course. And the only butcher in the area is Samuel Fletcher, who at this moment is replacing a window that has been forced open.
Children are in danger.
A man as skillful with a knife as a butcher, and with a bad reputation to match, could easily strike a fatal blow by cutting the child's jugular. If he hasn't done it, it's surely because these little thieves broke into his shop at night to steal a piece of meat. The poor lighting in this area saved them. I can assure you that Mr. Fletcher has spent the day trying to trace these children, and if he finds them, wounds will be the least of their problems.
That's true. What do you want? Don't let the butcher find us.
Dr. Watson will see to your wound, but the treatment won't be free. I don't need to remind you that life is hard. You know that already. Give me the address of a certain Kurtz, and the doctor will dress your wound. No address, no treatment.
I can't tell you, mister. Kurtz is a dangerous madman.
Holmes, you go too far. You have frightened the poor child.
I could give Mr. Fletcher a compensation for the damage to his property, and he would certainly give up trying to find you then. But for that, you'll have to cooperate.
Or else?
Or else he'll likely find a less agreeable way of repairing the damage.
Wait, mister. I know everyone here. I'll help you. Only protect us from the butcher.
I am looking for Kurtz. Tell me where I can find him, and I'll smooth things over with Mr. Fletcher.
Everyone here knows Kurtz. He's the worst person in the area. We call him the Colonel because he fought against the Zulus in Africa. He got chucked out the army because he's completely crackers. He lives at number 8 Batty Street.
Good. Watson, see to the wound. Then we will settle the problem between these young men and Mr. Fletcher.
We must protect these children from that butcher, Holmes.
It won't be necessary. I've had dealings with Samuel Fletcher before now. He's not the monster I've made him out to be. If he had wanted to kill them, he would have done so, even in dim light. By wounding the little thief, he wanted to warn him never to set foot in his shop again. Forget Mr. Fletcher, Watson.
You mean you lied to frighten those poor children?
Exactly. Clever, wasn't it?
Well, mister, that's a mighty fine outfit you're wearing there. You stand out like a sore thumb, and that's no lie. Watch that you don't get it all dirtied up. But you'd be welcome to come back to my place. It's not far, and I'd sponge it down for you.
Don't go back to Jenny's place. You'll get malaria.
Thank you, madam. I'm certain that you would make a very good job of it. That will not be necessary, however. But your thought was a kind one.
We'd best be leaving now, sir.
Here, please accept this sovereign as a token of my gratitude for your concern.
Well, I never. Thank you. That's right generous of you, my lordship.
You are very welcome, madam.
Madam, he calls me. Bless my garters. What a gent.
If you're ready now, sir.
Yes, let us go.
What a remarkable man, the Prince Woodville, to talk to such a woman as though she was an equal.
Let's find Batty Street. Batty Street. Closed. Closed. Closed.
My God, Holmes, it's appalling. And the smell. But what can have happened here?
Stay calm, Watson. Take note of every detail and be careful not to move anything.
Very well, Holmes. This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent. What a horrible wound.
The skin was deeply torn. Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
Only a dog could inflict so deep a wound, but it appears that the wound was gnawed at afterwards.
What terrible wounds! The dogs must have been rabid.
This bandage is a day or two old, no more. This Please take note, Watson.
The same finger that we found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's house. Holmes! What a horrible wound.
Size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. Size
This part is in shreds. What a...
The skin was deeply...
Grapes! What are they?
Someone... This is yesterday's newspaper. Someone wrapped some meat up in this newspaper. The blood is still fresh. A torn piece of a letter. It seems to be a letter of dismissal. A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the...
A newspaper covering the war in South Africa. Kurtz must have been following the war with some interest.
The Boer War is abominable, and it's still...
The dog's bowl. Someone brought food for the dogs, probably just before the fight broke out.
And just after they had been fed, they attacked a man to eat him.
The material on this tray is rather odd.
A pipe with a strange smell.
Small burnt balls. A small burner. There can be no doubt. Judging by the material on the tray and the pipe, the man smoked opium.
Opium. I doubt if this man could have made his drug here. He would have needed a real laboratory.
Let us look at our deduction board.